Multi-million-dollar plan from Caltrans to try to prevent some of the devastating wrong-way crashes we've seen on San Diego roadways in recent years. President Biden getting a first-hand look at the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, which left hundreds of thousands without power and put much of the Northeast underwater. And the school year is underway for local high schools. That means Friday night football is back. As youth sports return, how San Diego Unified is handling its testing policy. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Labor Day weekend is here. Caltrans sending out a warning to drivers to be safe. Transportation Department is also working hard to prevent wrong-way crashes on our San Diego freeways. ABC 10 News reporter Nate Holmes joins us live from City Heights, where local leaders, Nate, announcing their plan to curb these kinds of crashes in the future.
Well, Jim, good morning. Yes, Caltrans announced Friday morning that nearly $9 million will be used for upgrades to our highway on-ramps, and it is their hope to prevent wrong-way drivers from entering into oncoming traffic.
Wrong-way driving collisions account for less than 1% of all collisions on the state highway system. But then, when they happen, they lead to very tragic consequences.
Caltrans District 11 Director Gustavo Delarda stood beside local leaders this morning as they plan to announce the wrong-way driver mitigation plan. Some of the upgrades to the highway on-ramps include LED flashing lights and one-way pavement markings and arrows that can only be seen when someone is going the wrong way. The plan will also include driver education on ways to prevent driving on the opposite side of the road. According to Caltrans, about 37 people on average are killed in wrong-way crashes each year in California. At one point, San Diego was considered one of the deadliest places in the state for these kinds of collisions. Most recently, a married couple who worked for the San Diego Police Department were killed in a wrong-way crash back in June. The couple was driving on I-5 in San Ysidro when a female driver hit them head-on. Now, Caltrans has been working to improve our San Diego on-ramps. They tell us in San Diego, wrong-way drivers have decreased by 44% after reflectors were installed. In City Heights, Nate Holmes, ABC 10 News.
Nate, thank you very much. And this morning, 3 people in the hospital with critical injuries after a hit-and-run crash overnight happened in San Marcos around 3 a.m. Sheriff's Department says a car was T-boned at the intersection of Las Posas and La Mirada. They think one of the cars may have run a red light. Well, one of the cars caught fire and burned, and its driver ran away from the scene. 2 others were injured in addition to those who were taken to the hospital. No word on a suspect description yet. Now, this morning, still no sign of the 5 missing Navy sailors following that helicopter crash off our coast. The MH-60 helicopter crashed Tuesday afternoon during operations on the USS Abraham Lincoln. 1 person was quickly recovered and is in stable condition, but 5 sailors have not been found. 5 other sailors aboard the carrier were also hurt. They are all also in stable condition. All right, now President Biden on his way to New Orleans to meet with officials and survey the damage left behind by Hurricane Ida. Storm left millions without power and other essential items. Meanwhile, cleanup is underway in the Northeast, where even after it was downgraded, the remnants of Ida have wreaked havoc, putting huge parts of the region underwater and causing dozens of deaths. ABC's Dan Lieberman has more.
In Philadelphia Friday, a major highway still flooded, with crews still pumping out water. Across Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, catastrophic flooding that turned roads into rivers, with at least 7 confirmed tornadoes. In Mullica Hill, New Jersey, winds exceeding 135 miles per hour.
We were all huddled. He was over me. Everything was falling on our back.
And this. A house in Rahway exploding early Thursday, hours after residents evacuated due to floodwaters, authorities blaming a buildup of gas inside. The blast leveling the house and damaging nearby homes. In this moment, when the walls of a New Jersey home caved in under immense water pressure. In New York's Central Park Thursday, we met Tasco Brown, scooping water from his flooded car using his baby's bottle. He swam with his 8-month-old baby to safety the night before.
Never experienced nothing like it. It was frightening. Worst thing I've ever seen.
In New York City Wednesday night, more than 3 inches of rain fell in just 1 hour, submerging cars on this Bronx expressway and forcing more than 800 passengers to be rescued from flooded subways. 11 out of 13 New York City residents who lost their lives lived inside basement apartments, unable to escape the high waters. A Queens mother and her son were killed when their basement apartment collapsed, their neighbor still in a state of disbelief.
The water came up within 5 minutes, like 4 feet, real fast.
Well, important information for parents of San Diego Unified student athletes. Unvaccinated athletes in the district will need to be tested for COVID on a weekly basis. That's compared to those who have gotten their shots. Those athletes can skip the test unless they're in a sport that's unmasked and indoors. Dr. Howard Tarras, the district pediatrician, laid out the details to us today. He says being vaccinated and outdoors are the two most powerful tools available for fighting the virus. He also says this year the best team may be determined by more than just coaching and athletic talent.
I think this season it's going to be the most vaccinated teams are going to win because they will be less likely to miss training, practices, games, etc.
Dr. Tarras tells ABC 10 News COVID testing will be available to all students and staff on every high school campus in the district at least once a week. Notices were sent to parents to sign up their kids for the testing program. Of the more than 15,000 that have already been returned, 80% of parents appear to be opting in. Well, coming up with a security deposit when you're trying to move to a new place, well, that can be a struggle for some, especially during the pandemic. And now the county wants to help out. They are rolling out a new program today to help renters. If you qualify, you can get up to $7,000 in help. That can be used for your security deposit. The main requirement is based on income. Anyone who makes 120% or less of the local median income is eligible. We talked to renters who say the extra funding could provide a big lift.
I need help right now. Much like everybody in San Diego right now, they need help. And this program is like one of the bright lights you see out there that are really hard to see in a dark place.
Now, the program, funded by money from the American Rescue Plan, county says that the applicants will be chosen on a lottery-style basis. Well, those who passed by the Embarcadero today caught a glimpse of this moving memorial. The person who created it says he wants to pay tribute to the victims of September 11 terrorist attacks as we come up on the 20-year anniversary. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell tells us more about this memorial and where it's headed next.
From a distance, this 40-foot semi-trailer isn't hard to miss. But if you get closer, you see this isn't just an ordinary truck. There's a lot of significance behind the two murals that wrap the trailer. On each side are the names of all of the victims of the September 11th terrorist attacks. The person who had the vision to put this together is Mitch Mendler.
And I said, well, I don't want to let it go. I have too much invested in it. And if I let it go, that would mean I failed at my own mission statement, which is never forget.
And tucked away inside of the truck is this piece of history, a part of the South Tower. Mitch will be driving the truck to Missouri for the annual 9/11 Patriots Day ceremony. But he wanted to park it along the Embarcadero this morning so people could see it and it could serve as a reminder about this day that forever changed the world. One of those who came was this woman, who says a family member was on one of the planes that crashed. She, like others, came to pause and reflect and remember what happened that day.
But there's two words, and those two words are never forget.
Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.